All right, we looked like we're connecting. Hi, Rob. This Kenny's waiting on a actual 6:30. I'm gonna play a national anthem first tonight, and then we'll go into the flag song, and then we'll get everybody else in. Dale should be coming in shortly.
I got a couple of visitors today. I don't know if you can see a visitor to my left over here. That's the infamous Trumpy Bear.
That's awesome, man. What else do you get?
This is my friend Jerry from Washington.
Hey, Jerry, how you doing? I'm Sam. That's pretty awesome, man.
I got a couple of visitors. Of course, our little Pomeranian Wicket's on Jerry's lap too. So there's actually 3 visitors today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
No, that's awesome. All right, I'm gonna queue up this one from YouTube. Hopefully it'll work. We'll find out here in a second, right?
We're gonna stand up and put our hats down, right?
Yeah, if we can get us on video, let's see if this thing will play. Get it started, brother. It's got a military theme to it too, so I think it's good.
that looks a little weird.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
Well, you know what? I gotta start. I wanted to cue it. I didn't want to play it yet because we gotta get it. I gotta get it live onto Facebook still.
Right.
So now I gotta get to the bottom of the screen again. Get back to our share, and we'll. All right, that. Need to share. I think I got Dale in. Yep, there's Dale. We'll admit him. We're going to get this one going here first, and we'll send this thing live to Facebook and everywhere else. So as I get it going here, come on. The worst part when you take something from YouTube, it doesn't want to cooperate. Since we're not live on Facebook yet, that's good. Hopefully I can get this bar. There it is. All right, we're going to go live to Facebook with the national anthem. Then we'll play the flag, and we're going to keep moving along. All right, then we'll get into the discussions tonight. All right. I'm getting the Facebook feed set up right now, so that'll take a second.
Can you hear me, Sam?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine, bro.
Okay, so making sure you see me too.
Well, I ain't looking there right now. I don't know. Rob, can you see Kenny?
A while ago, it come up with a black screen on me. Oh,
yeah, that's because I wasn't active yet. I didn't have the
meeting. Okay.
It'll put you in a waiting room.
I thought I wasn't working.
No, it'll put you in a waiting room so we can, because I'm getting the stream set up right now for Facebook to get it rolling. But I found a good national anthem shot to run, so I'm going to run that.
Awesome. And
then I'm going to kill our videos for a minute and then get back on it, you know?
Okay.
Because I'm waiting to see what it's going to preview here. Well, we knew that was going to happen. All right. Say something. Okay, I got to go over here and get this shit. Can't get the link I need, damn it. I hate not being on time.
Are you running this off of Sam Williams for Congress or just Sam Williams?
No, it'll go to Sam Williams for Congress. That's where the live will be.
Okay.
In just a second here, as soon as I find this
I
other
just want
thing.
to share it when you do it.
Hey, Kenny, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Dale.
Yeah.
Well,
hey, Dale.
Right? We talked to, decades, it seems like,
Well, you might not recognize me since I'm not talking.
Guys,
Hey,
I seen you come in.
how you doing, brother?
Hey, brother, I'm Memorial Day. What better day to do anything in, man? It's been great.
That's
Has
right.
it?
Yeah, we had a little pool time, cooked steaks on the grill,
Wow.
That's awesome, brother.
hung up some brand new flags, Trump flag, American flag.
All right, here we go. We're gonna turn on the national anthem now. At least I think I am. All right, here we go. All right, here comes the flag. This is by Kenny Lee.
I've had hopes blown through me, torn, stepped on, burned to hell. Some even spit into my face. They take a knee. Our country is disgraced.
Do you, Dale? You see me, Dale?
Yeah, I got my shirt on.
Yeah. I'm just.
I will always stand for you. Over the battle, save me from sea to shining sea. I'm the red, white, and blue. I'm here for you. Stop the hand and let's join hands and try and come together and make America great again. Monuments are coming down. They're pulling statues to the ground. History can't be replaced. Where men have died, time can't be erased. I've covered coffins, come and fall. Folded in. Many a wounded dying man have held me ragged in their hands and raised me up over the battle. Gave me stop the hate and let's join hands and try to come together and make America great again. Over the valley, from sea to shining sea. Stop the hate, let's hold hands and try and come together. It's all come together and make America great again. I'm the flag.
All right, Phyllis. It's good to see everybody, man. I ain't seen that Dale in a while, you know. Good to see him again. Knowing he's still kicking out there. Yeah, I got to unmute everybody. I went through and unmuted us, so we didn't, or muted everybody while we were playing the music. Let me unmute Kenny here. Kenny might have to unmute himself there. It's not.
Yeah,
There we
I
go.
just saw that. I get it.
You know, today's a special day for America, you know, being that it's Memorial Day and what it means, you know, and that's kind of why I wanted to get you guys on here because, you know, we're all of us are behind the president for what he's doing and, you know, trying to open the country back up. And I think a lot of the fallen people would be rolling over in their graves right now if they knew what was going on.
They would be. I mean, who'd ever thought America would be going through this?
I know, you know, and it's tough because it's hurting a lot of people. I mean, since all of us are from all over the country, you know, Dale's in Georgia, you're in Tennessee, and I know we're all seeing the effects of this, you know. And
Yeah, it's affecting everybody. I believe it's affecting everybody all the way around. And but you know, yeah, I don't know. I believe America's going to come back stronger than ever.
I think so, you know, and I think we're doing the right thing. We've got Liberty Light coming in as well, but he'll unmute himself when he gets a chance. But Dale, how are things down there with you? I know you've been working on a sheriff's race with a fella, man, working hard out there.
Yeah, like I said, you know, with Biker trucks pretty well in place. You know, we can't go nowhere. You can't have
Right.
20 people, and so I'm just trying to do much as I can around here at home. And I to this sheriff race. He's a real good friend of mine. We worked in state government together when I was prison warden. He was one of my superintendents, and so we're really kind of like you disturbing the apple cart.
Right. I mean, you know, we've had to go to this kind of campaign.
Well, that's what Republicans do. We don't tell people what they want to hear. We tell the people what, you know, they need to hear.
That's right.
Exactly.
You know, I think everybody on here is that way. I mean, I know Rob and I talk an awful lot. You know, he lives here in El Paso, and he's in the same boat, but he worked for DOD, you know, and he's out there every day. He's had to go to work, you know, without fail.
Yes, sir.
You know, and I think a lot of us, you know, a lot of it is there's been a lot of fear mongering with this whole thing on how bad it really is at this point in time. Because it's, you know, El Paso and say Nashville, right, are roughly the same size city, right? And Nashville's been hit a lot harder than El Paso. You know, when you start looking at the numbers around the country, it doesn't make a lot of sense, you know, on what's going on.
You got to follow the heat wave. I mean, you know, it lives in colder weather.
Right. And I honestly think once it, you know, like you said,
In Georgia, we're open.
yeah, you guys were the first one to open back up.
Restaurants and everything. We're doing good in Georgia. Florida's doing good.
Right.
I'm pretty sure El Paso's doing good also. You got to follow the heat.
Yeah, we're doing real good. The problem is we've got local government people that want to keep everything closed, you know? That's awesome, Dale.
Mainly the Democrats want to keep it closed.
Well,
I think
you know, I
this is
think that's what it is. We're seeing a lot of that where the Democrats have fought back. It's like Nancy Pelosi trying to put that $3 trillion stimulus bill through. Well, where are we going to get the money to pay for it? You know?
yeah, where's it coming from?
Well, you know, it's going to come from all of us eventually, or from our kids and our grandkids, and maybe even farther down the line.
Yeah, I mean, you know, American only can only afford to put out so much, and we're going to put ourselves in a much worse mess in the long run if that doesn't slow down. But I realize everybody needs money to survive.
Right.
But you know, I think they need to take a closer look at what they're giving out and what they're giving away. I mean,
yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. You know, I think we're not, you know, it's that like that first round of stimulus that came out, you know, where did people go? They went to the big box stores and bought a bunch of stuff they didn't need because they were left open while our mom and pop businesses were shut down and losing everything, you know? And I don't understand that, why we didn't keep the small business open and close down the big places.
And all that stuff comes from Walmart as well.
right.
All the TVs, all the PlayStations, that all comes from China and Walmart. They're all hand in hand.
Well, we agree with that. We know that, but you know, look where that money went. That stimulus money got back was put out and it went straight to Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, or wherever. But now you're going to have people coming back out and saying, hey, I can't pay my rent. You know, they should have took that money, or their mortgage. They should have took that money and paid that mortgage off at that time when they got it, at least to keep from getting too far behind is the way I see it should have been done.
I agree with you, Sam. I mean, that's what it was for, is to help everybody get by. And if they went out and blown it, then that's nobody's fault but their own, you know.
And I agree with that. I mean, I've said that over and over again. You know, we're watching, but like here in El Paso, you know, they're still wanting to keep everybody shut down, or a lot more social distancing, because the rest of Texas opened up on Friday, but Amarillo and El Paso won't open up till next Friday, is the way that they put it out there, because our city council and county commission went to the governor to keep us shut down. But you know, a lot of small businesses just aren't coming back.
Well, a lot of them's not going to come back. That's the problem. A lot of them's going to be gone forever.
Right.
And that's the darn thing.
That's basically what it is in Georgia. Georgia's pretty well doing well, but the big cities, Atlanta, Columbus, Savannah, Valdosta, Macon, which are mostly run by Democratic mayors,
Right.
They're resisting. They're not doing things like the rest of us are. Like we in Rome, Georgia, we're 90 miles from Atlanta, Georgia.
Right.
Go up north in the mountains, and I mean, you can go out and eat, and the only thing you see difference, the waitress is wearing a mask.
Right. And I mean, I don't.
That's about all you see is difference. The waitress is wearing a mask.
Yeah,
Well,
it's like with the mask. You know, you see a lot of people wearing a mask, but hell, they don't want to wear it right anyway. So it's just like not wearing one.
Right. Well,
You know, if you're not covering your nose, what good does the mask do? So if you're not going to wear it right, don't wear it. I mean, that's the way I see it. And if you don't, you know, I go out, and because El Paso has said, hey, you know, we need to wear a mask right now. Not that I have to, but I think it's more of a courtesy thing to the other people. Dale got him a picture of a mask. He's got his mask on now.
It says Trump voted for him again in 2020.
there you go. Yeah.
So they don't want me to wear my mask.
There you go.
That's
I
right.
like that. Dad, you got to send me one of them.
Well, you know, he wears that to keep the bugs out of his teeth too.
Well, it's called gnats.
Right,
I
Nat.
like it. The gnats. Yeah, Georgia got them a lot more gnats.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, you got to get back out there. We can't keep people are having a lot of problems. You know, we're seeing a spike in a lot of, you know, domestic violence and stuff like that right now because people haven't been left out. I've talked to a couple of, you know, some of the local law enforcement, and they said they're seeing a ton of the domestic violence spiking because people are locked up at home and not being able to get out.
All right.
You know, and
You're right. You're right. But even like Dale was saying, even around here, other than downtown Nashville and all that being locked down and all that stuff, but around the areas around it, there's a lot of people that don't wear masks.
right.
But the reason for wearing the mask is to protect the other person. So if
Exactly.
you don't wear a mask, you don't have any respect for the other person. And in other words, maybe you don't have respect for life even, because that's what's going on here.
Right. And that's what
you know,
I've
I
said
don't-
the whole
yeah.
time. It's more of a courtesy than anything
It
else
is.
to wear the mask. I understand you have the right not to wear it, and that's true. But should we not, you know, at least care about our other Americans right next to us? Man, Dale's got a whole portfolio up there he's showing off tonight.
I hadn't been on here in a while.
Yeah, I know.
I've been in hiding.
I know. You know, we see you out there having to work. You know, your wife's got you doing all the work that she wanted to get done. And then with you
I'm gonna go back
going to
to-
work, she's going to get it done.
Yeah, I'm about ready to go back to work.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Are they, you know,
I want
that's,
to try to fix my camera. It keeps drooping down on me. Y'all bear with me a second. See if I can do this. See if this will work. I don't know. Let's try it. That's better, ain't it?
yeah. But I mean, going back to, you know, today, especially, you know, a lot of us have, you know, people like myself have lost friends on the battlefield. I'm going to put a picture up and share this to everybody of a young man that died 2011 that was in 17 FA. And his name is Christopher Fishbeck. He was a fire direction control specialist for 17 Field Artillery. And I just want everybody to see what they've done, his little headstone and stuff, so that people can understand that these guys went out there and they were defending the freedoms that we have. So let me see if it'll share this thing, because I think it's important to get Christopher. And in this same action where Christopher was killed, we actually had 5 KIA that day, and another guy died in Bethesda after the fact, you know, about a week later. And these were all young men, you know. But here's Ryan's. I don't know if everybody can see it or not, but here's Chris's headstone. And this happened in Baghdad in 2011. But I just wanted to show everybody that, because these are guys that they gave all for this country. And we really need to make sure we remember them today, because that's what Memorial Day is all about.
Amen.
And speaking of that, you see that flag there?
Yes, sir.
We had it already organized to go to all the federal graveyards and stuff.
Right.
The Bikers Trump in each, you know, if you live in Georgia, you go to Canton, places like that, you know. And but they, you know, they canceled all that this year. You couldn't.
Right, they did. You
couldn't
know,
do it.
they had a veteran die here earlier this week, and they buried him at the you know, at the cemetery on Fort Bliss. But because of, you know, the policies that are out there with DOD and stuff, they couldn't have the funeral right then, you know, with the honors and stuff. And there were some people pretty upset about it, and I understand that, but I also understand that the installation had put a directive out that none of that would happen. And I know that they're going to do his actual funeral and honors right after that is, you know, as soon as we can and everything's open. But I know that there's been a lot of vets like that that have not gotten that honor yet because of all of it. Like you said, they closed it down, kept you from putting the flags on the graves.
Well,
Yep. We didn't get to do it.
right. I don't think nothing should ever stop us from honoring our veterans. Nothing. there's ways we can get out there and do those things, put the flags on the graves. I mean, we do it every year. And
Yeah.
I know we're all following guidelines and all that stuff now, but you know, I see it like I was trying to say, it's a lot of ways it's like nothing changed. You just see people with masks now, and I wear a mask when I go out. And that's about the only difference I see in anything other than some stores shut down and, you know, some closed, but the grocery stores are booming.
Oh, yeah.
We all go in these grocery stores and the Walmart and all that stuff, and nobody seems to really be worried about it that much. Now the employees at Walmart and the grocery stores, they seem to be wearing the mask, trying to protect us.
Right.
But I don't know. I think in a lot of ways, Sam, in my opinion, it's maybe a little overblown in a lot of ways. That's not Trump's fault. That is the Democratic governor, state leaders' fault.
Well, he passed it down to whose responsibility did the right thing
Exactly.
by sending it back, because that's the governor's responsibility to take care of the state, not
You're
the
exactly
federal government. The federal government's there to back up the state, you know. And a lot of us have talked. I know Rob and I've talked about this many a time on what's really happening, and Connie as well. Every time we get on here, it seems like we roll right into that whole scenario again, because they're blaming the president for something he had nothing to do with. And while he was trying to take care of the United States, they were up there trying to impeach him.
Oh, I know. And, you know, if you've seen it, what was probably a few months ago, he said, you know, we're going to open back up. And I'm the one in charge. I'm the one that's going to lead you guys through this. But then all the governors, the Democratic governors said, heck no, we're going to open our own state up. So, hey, you give them enough rope, they'll hang themselves. And that's exactly what they're doing, is hanging themselves.
Well, look, you can see it out there. I mean, we had
But it's hurting us all. Them hanging themselves is hurting us, and they're hanging us all out to dry in certain states.
Yeah, I mean, Rob had pulled some data up for us late in the week. I think it was on Wednesday nights, about the states that didn't actually close down and how well they're doing compared to states that were completely shut down of comparable size, you know, like South Dakota. They didn't shut down, and I think it was Vermont was the other one, right, Rob?
Yes, it was the same size, and one was locked down, one wasn't. Identical casework.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like the ones that weren't locked down are doing better than the ones that did lock down.
Yeah, the idea was to compare two similar states, though. So that's what we did. We compared two states of similar density. That's one of the arguments they keep making about New York and New Jersey and some of those other states. So we compared two that had similar density, as well as population, as well as veteran population per capita, all of those things. And they were identical. And as we know, South Dakota was straight up herd immunity and didn't lock down like everybody else did. Vermont did lock down like everybody was telling them to, and they had identical stats.
Yeah. So the lockdown, I don't think had any effect on the spread, more like what we can see across all of the numbers. You know,
the whole purpose of the lockdown was for the hospitals to catch up with what's going on.
Right. That was the whole idea.
Then the Democrat governors, they took it to their advantage to seek and sit and get what they want out of it. Now they're asking for money from us good states to bail them out because their budgets are so bad. And I don't necessarily want to see that happen, because Georgia shouldn't have to pay for something New York does.
No, absolutely not. It's the state's responsibility to manage their budget and to manage those funds that the federal government got them. And if they squander them on stuff that they shouldn't be, the rest of America shouldn't be responsible for picking up that slack for them all the time. Because how many times have we bailed New York out? You know,
or California. California, for that example.
Well, California's asking for a chunk too, and
yeah, but they want to give $500
in the past.
If you're gonna give out $500 every legal, well, you need money for your budget.
Yeah, isn't that funny, Dale? That you can find those guys to give them $500, but as soon as it comes time to get them registered or something like that, where are they?
Your way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like Cuomo said. He's got New York's rich enough to give everybody free health care. Now he's asking for money. I'll
it out.
talk
Right.
about-
How,
Right.
how does that really work out? If you're rich enough to pay for it, you're asking the rest of America to pay for a program that you want to put in place.
Well, when they say free healthcare, they mean just the government. Government stepping in and taking care of the bill when they say free.
There
Right.
ain't nothing free, and we all know that.
No.
Everything in this world you're gonna pay for one way or another.
You're right.
I don't care what it is.
You know what? You know what gets me and bothers me the most? I think about this virus is it seems to be not only, but mostly hitting the nursing homes. Think about the governor of New York. He was putting coronavirus patients in with the old people in the nursing home.
And that's
What kind of brain does he have? He doesn't have much of a brain. Look, it's going
Socialist
to kill old
Democrat.
people first. You should know that. What a dummy.
it is amazing though to me that, you know, as big as our country is, that we shut down an entire country, 350 million people, and just ran them into a stone wall. You know, because like back in April, Kenny, you and I, we were going to do, you know, we had everything set to do the We're All Trumped Up tour
Mhm.
to kick it off right here in El Paso. And, you know, Dale's part of that.
Dale too, yeah.
And we got, you know, they hit us with a hammer with that one. You know, unfortunately, because I think people need that. They need to see us back together and us, you know, interacting with each other. Because we're human and we're tribal as a people, you know. Humans want to be with other people. It's just the way it is, you know.
Right.
And if you don't have those interactions, you know, social skills and everything else go down the drain. Heck, we see that with a lot of the younger population right now, you know, because there's no emotion with a text message to somebody. You can't really see what it is. It's even the same thing when you do a Facebook post or what. They may not know how passionate you are about that particular post that you're making
Right.
because they can't see it. You know, that's just like, you know, people calling me, you know, saying I'm a foreigner all of a sudden. I thought that was an interesting fact that came up over the past few days.
Oh, wait a minute. How can you be a foreigner?
I don't know.
That doesn't make sense to me, man. You're white. You were born in America. That's not being a foreigner.
Well,
Sound
no,
like somebody to me being prejudiced. Whoever said that about you, that's
well,
crazy.
you know, we get that. And Rob will tell you, he sees a lot more of it than a lot of people because he catches a lot of it
Right.
sometimes before I catch it. Most of the time he catches it before I do, and we're able to clean it up real quick. And, you know, it is amazing that somebody would actually put that information out like that. You know, after serving in the Army for 29 years, I think I earned the right to call myself an American.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, you fought for your country. You fought it during the wartime. You've never quit. You've always went forward and fought to the bitter end. You know,
Well,
I mean, whatever you got to do. You're an American. You're a soldier. You're a veteran. Today
Yes, sir.
is your day too. You
Hey.
deserve better than to be called a foreigner. I'm sorry.
You might like this bear that Rob's got hiding in the background, Kenny. Dale probably like. He's got him a Trump bear back there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He said he got a visitor, and sure enough, that's what he got.
Grumpy.
There he is. No, that's Dale.
That's a different bear.
He's a Trump bear too.
There you go, Kenny. I don't think you see him now.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah.
I don't know if y'all noticed Rob's hat, but he's got the Punisher, you know, with Trump hair.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sam. I didn't mean to get excited. You somebody tells you're a foreigner, and you're a veteran, and who fought, and you've seen men die beside you, and they call you a foreigner. That upsets me, especially today on this day.
You know, and that's one of the things. And this came out a day or two ago that happened. And you know, most of the time I let it go.
You're not going to tell me who it was, are you?
No, sir. I won't do that because I don't think that's at this point it's not the proper thing to do. I've made
I understand
my thing about it, and we'll let it go at that. But
Okay.
these are things that people don't seem to understand, that we're all Americans if you live here in the United States, and I don't care if you live on the border or if you live, in the middle of the country, in the wheat belt or the rust belt, whatever, we're all Americans, and that's what we have to remember first and foremost.
Exactly.
Hey,
And
Kenny,
there's no race when it comes to being an American.
No, absolutely not.
You're an American. You're an American. It don't matter what color you are. It don't matter what, it doesn't matter what religion you are.
Right. It doesn't.
None of that matters. We're American. We're in America,
but it all comes from that same playbook that you see with, Joe Biden saying, if you ain't black, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black, right? So
Yeah.
it's the
Well, I
same
ain't
thing.
gonna
It's
vote
identity
for it.
politics.
I ain't black.
I tried to get Rich to come on and talk about Joe Biden, but
Well,
I think he's barbecuing, and he probably not in shape that he'd want to be to say something about it, knowing Rich.
Well, answer me a question, Sam, and whoever can answer this question. How in the heck did Joe Biden ever even get the Democratic nomination? He can't remember nothing. It's obvious that he's got dementia or a little case of Alzheimer's. Bless his heart. I hate to see that. I mean, I hate to see anybody do that. Bless his heart. But, how can anybody run a country in that kind of mental shape? It just does not make sense.
It'd be turned over to the vice president. You watch, because we don't know who that vice president pick is yet for
I think
his running mate.
the answer to that question is, first of all, Joe Biden, you're the candidate. Are you willing to do what we tell you to do? Yes? Okay. Then you're going to be our guy. If he had said no, then he wouldn't be the guy.
Yeah.
You're right.
there's also a rumor out there he's going to step down this coming week.
That's some of the stuff we've been hearing. There's rumors here about the same thing happening after this runoff. If I don't win the runoff, that the other person could actually drop out and hand Escobar back to the office. I don't know how true that is.
That would be terrible.
But that would be a terrible thing for El Paso and a terrible thing for America for Escobar to get back and be reelected. Because you think about all the stuff that she hasn't done, when the only platform that she had when she ran for Congress was that she was going to
Take down Trump.
And that's exactly what she's been doing. She's at least trying. And she hasn't.
Well, I don't think anybody as little as her could ever take down Trump.
No, but she can be part of that machine.
I mean that, she's not big enough.
She's part of that big machine,
Yep.
She's
Part of it.
by places like Planned Murderhood and all of that.
Planned Murderhood. That's a good way to put it because it's exactly what it is.
Well, if you look at the numbers, they've killed more Americans this year than the coronavirus.
Yeah.
And that's with them even padding the number.
That's sad. I don't believe in abortion in any way, shape, or form. Everybody has rights, and we have rights as Americans, but we don't have the right to murder our children.
No, I agree.
But they have the right to be open, and the churches don't.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, and the church is done.
That's sad. But I think in Georgia they're going to be open next week.
Good.
That's good.
If we can have Walmarts open, we can have grocery stores open, we can have churches open. That's essential. Prayer is essential.
Yeah, but they're talking about now mail-in ballots because people are scared to go to the polls, yet they'll go stand in line at Walmart.
Yeah. You know what?
What sense does that make unless you're trying to rig an election?
Exactly. That's what I was fixing to say. That's just an easy way for them to rig it.
That's what I think is they're trying to do because they know that they can't beat Trump in a head-to-head race.
Right.
I really think that's the case. And I think if people would look and see what the president actually has done instead of just focusing on whatever gaffes may happen here and there.
Could you imagine Biden and Trump on a debate?
I don't think.
I don't even believe it's going to happen.
Gotta get out
I think so.
Well, if you, they'd be playing taps for Biden, that's for sure.
So that's the thing. You got to feel sorry for Biden in some respects because they're making him a sacrificial lamb.
He is.
You know, and the thing is, if we don't flip the House back to a red House, what's going to happen is the Democrats are going to turn around. If Nancy Pelosi is still Speaker of the House, they're going to turn around and try to impeach him again on some other kind of, crazy conspiracy about that he didn't, because they're already trying. Adam Schiff is already trying to investigate him for his response on the coronavirus threat. Yet Adam Schiff was the guy that was running the impeachment. He should be
Adam-
investigating himself.
Right. Agree with that.
Adam Schiff is about the lowest scum in Washington. Not quite the lowest. Nancy Pelosi's the lowest. Chuck Schumer one of the even lower.
Well,
But how can these people say that they're doing good things for our country when we watch them and see the bad things they do? The stuff they try to sneak in past when we're trying to get a bill passed to help the country and the people, and they're sneaking in all this bad stuff. How is that good for our country, Sam?
look at what they did to that first stimulus bill. What they did to it was, a good portion of it was bills that they couldn't pass before. So they split them in as the pork in that bill. And they've done the same thing with H.R. 6800, which is the stimulus bill that's going to die in the Senate. Because if the senators let that bill go through, we need to fire everybody up there completely.
I agree. Well, we're never going to get, term limits because they're all the ones voting for it to happen or not voting for it to happen.
Right.
They make the law. So we're never going to get that. And we need that.
Well, see, it's going to take a constitutional amendment to do it. Now,
Right.
I know that there's organizations out there that are trying to do it. The Convention of States is definitely trying to make that happen. And the other issue that they'd like to see happen is a repeal of the 17th Amendment. Because the 17th Amendment is what caused the states to lose their voice in the federal government, along with a whole bunch of other things that made the United States start going south. But
I
that
think
was
that's
one of
the problem. That's the problem that we're all talking about. Congress has power of the purse. So they're holding America hostage, and we're already bankrupt. If we don't pass the next stimulus plan, if we don't pass the next yearly fiscal year budget, what happens? Do we finally go through bankruptcy? But we just keep extending it. We keep adding. That's what we saw with the whole coronavirus, is that they held America as hostage on the stimulus plan and the fiscal year budget.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right. And that's a good point. We have to get control of the government. And this isn't just the federal government. This starts at the local level as well. You've got to get candidates and people that are willing, because there's a lot of good people out there that could do a very good job in public office, but they don't want to go through all that because it's such a dirty business, because your dirty laundry is going to get aired one way or another. It's coming out. It doesn't matter what it is. Somebody's going to try to twist that against you. And that's why a lot of people won't put themselves into that public arena.
True. And it's like Trump said that this week at the Ford, when he's visiting that Ford plant, he said if it comes back, he will not shut the country down again. He will
Right.
not do it.
Well, he
So
saw,
he sees that what it's done, and like I said, a lot of people out here are feeling it.
Oh, yeah.
But we done tested the water. I don't see us testing it again, to be honest.
no, and I think he got pushed by Fauci and them, because Fauci is supposed to be this big, world-renowned virus,
Well, these people are supposed to know what they're doing, Sam. The CDC, he's supposed to, the head of the city, he's supposed to know what he's doing. That's his profession, his job, supposedly. And also the World Health Organization, the World Health Organization, he's supposed to know what he was doing, but he's over there playing favoritism with China.
Well,
Okay, he's on their side, and they want to bring us down because Trump has really been kicking their butt on the trade deals. So
Sure he has.
everybody is just another way of fighting our president, but in a different arena, a different way. And I think the Democrats have made this so much worse than it probably would have ever been, just by pushing everything the way they're doing right now and
Right.
trying to control socialism. at his
When you
worst.
think about it, he when he said no more flights from China, nobody could come in from China. They started telling him that he was wrong and he was xenophobic and all that. And you got Nancy Pelosi going down to Chinatown. Oh, just
Yeah.
go, let's go out. It doesn't matter where you're going, but she got a bigger crowd of people.
Right. You're right.
Yeah, and same thing. Who was it? De Blasio did the same thing in New York.
Yeah, Schumer. Yep.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Well, they're not for America truly. And I hate to say that, but that's the way they make it look. They are so hard left. They want to control us. They want to control us. They're not constitutionalists. They don't even think about the Constitution.
No,
they think about what they want
Yeah, they only employ the Constitution when it's convenient for them.
when it's convenient.
And that's the whole problem we got is, the Constitution is the Constitution. It says what it says, and we need to go with it how it says. We've got amendments attached to it that change the base document, because the founding fathers left that option there to allow for us to evolve the Constitution as necessary.
It's a live document. Correct. Yeah.
I don't say it's a live document, but they allowed us to change the document because they knew that things, the future is going to hold different things. But I think that the political class has used some of the amendments that are on there for their own personal gain.
Right.
Yeah,
I agree with
like here in Georgia, we already got early voting going on.
Right.
And I mean, it's no different than going to Walmart. It's no different than going to the grocery store. You're 6 feet in line.
Right.
You go to one table, and the other person goes in. We're still through in 15 minutes. It don't take no time. And they're saying that we got to vote by ballot, by absentee ballot, because you can't vote because of the virus. But they stop you in the front door. They give you hand sanitizer. They carry you to the first X. Then you go to the next X. Then you go to the table. Then you go to the next table. Then you go to the voting booth. Then you take your little paper out of the voting booth. You slide it in the thing.
All done.
Why can't we do it? Why can't we do it like you're saying, Dale? We should be able to do it.
That's what we're doing.
That's what they are doing in Georgia anyway.
Oh, in Georgia. Okay, great. Georgia's on top of it then.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, look at what the
can't hear you.
CDC is saying now.
Huh?
The CDC is saying now that it's not even a surface-to-surface spreading.
yeah, it's
So
They
close.
can't make their mind up.
Then they came out with this bathroom thing. You seen that? How long it stays in the bathroom? It's gonna stay there longer than me because I'm not gonna stay there that long. Now they want to say it stays in the bathroom, the public restroom, so long. You can't go to the public restroom.
Well,
ABC 1, 2, 3. What's next?
but I honestly think a lot of it goes back to Fauci in spreading that fear and wanting to make money off a new vaccine.
Well, did you see what he said today about it's time to reopen the economy?
Well, yeah, because they know people. People are pissed. I mean, there's no other way to put it. I mean, they're angry right now that they can't go to work.
I'm mad because I can't come to El Paso.
Yeah, right. You gonna ride out this? Hey, we got to watch Kenny when he gets on a flight, though. Make sure he don't get stuck in Houston again.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
I mean, who doesn't have the right to be angry about all this? Our country is founded on individual rights,
Yeah.
and they're getting trampled, especially when you look at some states like Michigan right now.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everyone has an absolute right to be upset. This is your individual right that's being squashed.
Right.
Well, in my view of it, I'm a retired prison warden. And they're letting prisoners out, but locking up hairdressers, gym owners.
Doesn't make any sense.
It'll make a bit of sense,
Here's the thing, too, letting people go, because Veronica Escobar did that. She was talking about letting all the illegal detainees go, right? Because they might get exposed to coronavirus. Well, if they are exposed and you cut them loose, now they're going to spread it through the rest of the population, right? Isn't it easier to contain that in a facility than it is to just let it go out into the world?
Yep.
That's the way I see it. And the military does the same thing. I mean, Fort Bliss has a whole area set up just for quarantine,
So you heard the term stay in place, right?
Yeah,
Stay in place. That's what we did. When you had a hurricane come, you stay in place. So why you got a virus, you want to let them out?
exactly.
You look
What's
at
the
the
difference?
Democratic, thinking here. How can we use this to benefit our mission, our goals, what we want to do, circumvent of what we can't do because of, and then they just use this and saying, hey, boom, let's just
Right.
but lock up that hairdresser. That's one of my moderators got a $1,000 fine the other day because she was on the Michigan steps cutting hair in the state of Michigan. The
Wow.
police walked up and gave her a $1,000 ticket for cutting hair on the steps. She had her mask on, had gloves on.
Yeah.
Person volunteered, nobody around the chair, just her and the guy who cut, and they gave her a $1,000 ticket.
Wow.
Sure
Well, you
did.
know, that and that's ridiculous too. I mean, initially I got it. You know what the president tried to do actually made sense. Shut everything down for 14 to 21 days, and that virus could have been gone completely. The problem
I
is we
agree.
are a free people, and we're not going to stay locked up.
No.
So you have to find a different way to handle the situation other than keep people just locked in their house, because it just doesn't, it's not going to work for an American to stay home.
And I got an example of that. My last rally was in Daytona Beach.
Right.
It was at Bike Week in Daytona. We was there all week long. Friday had our biggest day, biggest rallies and everything. Phone goes off Saturday morning. All permits have been pulled. The mayor's banned everything. Nothing can open. And he pulled every permit in the whole city.
Wow.
All venue permits were pulled in one day.
That's
One day.
crazy. And
Hey
that's
guys, I want to tell you, since I'm looking real rough here, as you can see.
oh, yeah, we want to bring that up.
We weren't gonna bring
He's
that up.
getting ready to do a movie.
Yeah.
He's got to grow out the beard and
Oh, geez.
starting to look like he was the minor 49er off a Lone Ranger or something.
Yeah.
But he's-
Well, I look pretty rough, but I got to look rough for the part that I play in the movie, which is a marshal actually, and in the old West. So, now I'm producing, directing, and acting. So plus we have other people. Carol Matthews, some of you know, she's also producing and directing.
Right.
Got a lot of good people. Debbie Collins Sponsworth, she's our casting director, and we're just having a ball, guys. Getting this together. It's been a whole lot of hard work. I'm gonna tell you, it's hard. A music video is hard, but this is like overwhelming. I'll put it that way. Especially when everybody's handling everything. But we're practicing social distancing for this thing and everything. We're gonna follow our president's guidelines, and the CDC. Okay, we have to follow their guidelines too. I can't. I just don't believe in them so much anymore. They keep changing their mind about everything. Just like that doctor. What'd you call him? Fauci? I can't never say that name.
Fauci. I did call him Dr. Frodo for quite a while.
He can't get his mind straight
He
either.
needed this guy.
That's Dr. Kevorkian.
Yeah.
There's something we all need to straighten out. Dale, I'm sure you'll back me on this, and Sam knows. Our President Trump came out and announced that when we get a vaccine, which we don't have one yet, but when we get one, he's going to have not necessarily the military, the National Guard go out, and they're the military, but the National Guard goes out and helps people when you have problems, right? Like that. That's what they do. So they're gonna go out and have this shot ready if we get it, but they're not gonna force anybody to take it. That's not what this is about. It's the right to try it type of thing that Trump's always done. And
Right.
he's not forcing that on anybody. If you don't want the shot, you won't get the shot. But if you want to try the shot, that's what that's about. Am I not correct? People,
That's the way I took it, and I haven't heard anything about where a vaccine would be mandatory. Now, some states, based on their constitution and some of the laws, they can make it to the point that it is mandatory. But the thing is, depending upon what's in that vaccine, somebody could be highly allergic to it and have some serious reaction. It could be worse than actually catching the virus.
Right. Trump never said it was mandatory, though. And people were putting those words in his mouth like it's mandatory. The military was going to force us to take it. That is not what he said.
No.
That's not what he said at all. And that is not what's going to happen. As long as Trump is in office, we're not going to have to worry about things like that. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah.
If each and everybody out there doesn't vote for him, you're crazy. You need to vote for Trump.
They were talking about adding like a dye, an infrared dye into the vaccine. that would show up if they scanned you to see if you'd had the shot. Well, I don't agree with anything like that. I
No,
remember the Army
it's
talking
not
about,
gonna be like.
talking about,
If we have a Democratic president, you better bet your butt it's gonna be like that, because that's what they're gonna go after. They want that control.
It's called
Our
socialism.
president does not want that control. And I know, Dale, you'll back me up on that.
Yeah, it ain't gonna happen.
no, I don't think it'll happen. I think there's enough of us out there, but that's why we really have to take the House back, and we've got to hold the Senate too. We actually need to pick up some seats in the Senate
Yes.
during this election as well.
Well, you can see it change already. Look at two people's already won Republican in California.
Yeah, I know that's pretty impressive if you think about it.
And, it's people waking up, but when you got the mainstream media just strictly doing them fake polls of Joe Biden 12 points ahead of Trump and all that kind of stuff, just the same thing was in 16 when they say Hillary's polls were so much better than
Right.
Trump. But when you actually see what actually happens, two people win a congressional seat. I mean, one congressional seat, one Senate seat in California. Man, the heck with a poll. I'm gonna go with that.
Right. I mean,
Right.
it's valid proof. You're validating that
Right.
their information that they're feeding us is propaganda and not the true story.
Right.
Look at Maxine Waters right now. She's saying it's hate speech just to call it the Chinese virus.
Oh yeah, her, Camilla Harris.
Bill Harris too. Yeah.
The thing is that almost every disease that's out there. Where is it named for? Wherever it came from. So what's the problem with calling it either the Wuhan virus or the Chinese virus? Because that's where it originated.
Yep.
That's where all of them seem to originate.
Well, the last few, I guess we could say that that's been the case. But that's.
I believe. No, go ahead.
No, go ahead, John.
I believe the reason why they're trying to do this in Congress, these individuals, when it comes to this hate speech, in my eyes, there's no such thing as hate speech. But then they have big Google tech, Google, social media out there shadow banning people. And I think this is really what we need to worry about in the long run when it comes to this quote unquote hate speech, because these are private entities. The government can't over-succeed them, but they're working hand in hand with these socialist Democrats. And I really believe this is going to be a problem in the long run. I personally call it a technocracy, but that's how I foresee it.
Well, here at Bikers for Trump, we're at 128,000 members for the second time.
The second.
First time they knocked us down from 120-something thousand members all the way back to 80,000 members.
How do you lose 40,000 members?
They said that they hadn't liked or commented on a post in the last 3 months, so they went in and cleaned it out. So here we are, we're at 128,000 again for the second time.
Right. That's just on Facebook, right?
They're doing that with YouTube as well. I've been noticing the numbers. So they're instead of taking off your channel, they just take off your followers. Nobody
Yeah,
will see
they do it all the time to me.
Yeah.
They always knocking my views down, man, and the followers down. I mean, you replenish, they take them back away. That's because they do not, they don't support Trump. Anything got Trump in it, they're gonna slam you. They're gonna mess you over.
But here's, and the whole thing, everybody says, the biggest thing is he was elected president, respect the office. You don't have to like somebody that's in the office for them to be able to do a good job.
No.
But you need to respect the man in that office. You don't have to respect the guy, but respect the office that they hold at that point. It's just like in the Army, Navy, whatever. We may not like our commander, right? But we still have to respect that position that he holds.
You respect the office.
You remember, Sam, when I first endorsed you, Bikers for Trump first endorsed you, how much hate stuff I got.
Oh, man.
And that's basically what I told him. I said, I don't have to like the guy. You don't have to like the guy. But he's a veteran. He stands for principle. And that's what we in Bikers for Trump stand for, is the same. He's on the president's side of things. And I said, so you're not going to convince me to do otherwise. But I got all kind of mail.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But we know who it come from. But still, I'm always in Georgia. They dogging me out because we in Georgia.
Well,
let me say something. Sam is the best man for the job. the only man for the job. He will stand up for everybody there in El Paso. White, black, white, Spanish, whatever. He is not a prejudiced man at all. He's straight up. And I want, Sam, have you got a link where they can go donate to you? I know you probably didn't.
Yeah, let me see if I can
Let's
pull
post
it up.
something. Everybody donate to Sam here. He needs
I'll post
the
it up in
money.
the feed.
They all need the money right now. All our people running for office.
They do,
Yeah.
and it's, we hit a brick wall really with with fundraising when they shut the country down. I mean, that was kind of the thing that killed all of this. Was it, people didn't know if they were going to have an income, and I wouldn't donate either. I'd be holding on to my money at the same time, and that's when it starts coming out of your own pocket. And
Right.
you
You're right.
still, if you're going to run for office, you're going to have to expect to actually you're going to have to pony up yourself too, whether you like it or not, because
Right.
it's not, it doesn't work when it's by yourself. I'm going
Well,
to see.
our founder, Chris Cox, is running for Congress in District 1, South Carolina.
Right. Yeah.
What
And
he's come up with, you
And
might have
how's
heard
Chris
it.
doing?
He's come up with this problem. It's called the Glove for Growth Pack. Club for Growth Pack. And
Okay.
it's basically run by the Koch brothers.
All right.
And what they're doing, they're getting behind all the GOPs that they want in office.
Mhm.
They sponsor like 22 people now.
Wow.
And you imagine that, you get in you got 400 something people in Congress, right?
Yep.
And you got 22 people on your side day one.
Exactly.
You're talking about, and that's the influences he's finding by not getting any endorsements other than, small town stuff and $10
Right.
here, $10
It's the
there.
same. It's the same problem we see here. Michael Bloomling in Florida had the same issue. A lot of people, they just pretty much run him into the ground, because he couldn't get the support. And in Florida, it was real expensive to get on the ballot too. I don't remember what they told me, but I think it's $10,000 or $12,000. It might be higher than that to actually get on the ballot. Oh, Johnny posted the thing, but we're going to post. He already pulled it up for WinRed. Cool. Thanks, Johnny.
Well, let's be fair too here, because if you're running against someone like Veronica Escobar who's got planned murderhood in your pocket, you're behind the eight ball already, right? So.
Oh yeah, you start out behind the 8 ball here, and I knew that, because there's been a lot of stuff. People are like, well, you ran as an independent last time. The first part that they leave out is the write-in portion, because as a write-in, you're not going to be under a party. Regardless of what you do, you're a write-in candidate, and that's what I was. And there were some reasons, I had some personal things happen in my life at the time. Even though we were going to run, we had some family issues, and I had to run back and forth to Florida and everything else to handle that was going on. And so I missed the window, but at the same time, I didn't stop. I decided that, hey, it's worth doing this just to get an education on how to run for office, because it's not something you want to just jump into feet first and expect everything to go your way, and you're going to take so much abuse from people that if you're not ready for that, you don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. I mean, look what happened when we opened up the Zoom feed the other night, 2 weeks ago.
Oh my gosh.
I heard about that.
Oh, it was ugly, man. Rob will tell you, it was nasty. There was some crazy stuff going on.
We had viewers thanking us for having it at a time when their kids were asleep.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's pretty bad.
Why is it that Democrats, the hard left, especially Democrats, they don't seem to care what they say or anything? They just really attack and attack and attack. And us Republicans kind of lay back and watch a little while, then we kind of hit back at them.
Yeah, I'm not sure if they were Democrats or not that were on that feed. I think they were coming from somewhere else.
Trolls.
Oh, they were trolls. There's no doubt there. They definitely all lived under a bridge.
Well, that's because they don't have a message. We understand that.
They don't.
And when you try to debate them, and when you call out Irene Jackson, they don't want to debate. We'll see how that goes with Texas. We're trying to line that up right now. We'll
Right.
see if they'll have the debate. But just the other day, she said she wasn't going to debate you when she was on the Marco Gutierrez YouTube
Oh,
channel.
wow.
So, we tried to line this up when it came to the All Trumped Up tour with Kenny Lee. And
Yeah,
we were
but she
all
said
working
she would
behind the
debate him
scenes.
then. She said she would.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
What
we lined
changed?
that up. Exactly. And then now she
You
doesn't
know?
want to debate now.
Well, and I look at it like
Yeah.
this. If you're afraid to debate your opponents, that says a lot about your platform and everything else, that you can't defend your positions. That's the way I see it. If you don't want to debate somebody, if you're going to back out of debates, that means that you're afraid of your competition. I believe you have to go head on into everything with this, because people don't realize the meaning of the word campaign either. And I look at it from that side of that definition. A series of military actions to win a war. And we are in a war right now, if you think about it, with this Democratic Party that we've got, with people like Veronica Escobar that will do anything to retain the power that she has.
And by not debating, they don't hear your words neither.
Right.
Right.
Well,
And
Irene, if you're watching, I think you should debate Sam. I think you should actually do it. Let everybody hear your side of things and let everybody hear his side of things. And Sam's a reasonable man. I mean, you don't have to worry about Sam hurting your feelings or anything, or you hurting his feelings, because he's a man. And hey, y'all debate. I think it should happen.
Yeah, a lot of people think I get, my feelings get hurt, but I guarantee you that they're not hurt.
No.
That's one of the things that, being in the military, I can guarantee you've had your butt chewed by the best more than once. And you may have not done nothing wrong at all, and still catch all the heat for it. So,
well, I was a military boy. I understand. I did. He raised me like the troops.
Yeah. I know I've had some of the best jump into me with both feet. So it happens. I mean, it's just part of it's the nature of being alive, I guess.
Yeah. Hey, you guys should also donate bikers for Trump. They do a lot for this country, and they could use your help money-wise as well. And please donate to Sam. We want Sam to be lifted up through here to give you the money to run this thing.
Well,
Go through with.
You start talking about, if we talk about, Democrat candidates like Veronica, with Planned Murderhood, and, she's getting funded by these people, and she'll have, by the time she's done fundraising, she'll have a couple $1 million. We figured the money out, and I've talked to you about it, Kenny, and
couple million.
We all talked about it. It's going to take $1.5 million to put Escobar in the ground, honestly, to get her out of office. And a lot of people don't seem to understand how much campaigns cost to run. I don't have $1 million laying in the top drawer. I can just take out and spend it. And even if I did, my wife wouldn't let me.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, I spoke to Irene myself, and we got along just fine talking and everything, and she agreed to do a debate with you. So I'd still love to see this debate. I think it'd be great for her, great for you. Let's see if we can get her to do it. I'll call her and ask her again.
Yeah, because people need to hear both candidates at the same time.
They do.
So they can make a conscious decision on who they need to vote for.
Right.
Even if they're saying the same thing, it's still good to see both side to side.
Right. I agree.
And whoever wins, if they're Republican, I'm going to be behind them. But Sam is a friend of mine. I know Sam pretty much inside and out, so I know how he thinks. I don't know Irene that well, but when I did talk to her, she seemed like a nice lady. But everybody has their ideas about things. I know Sam will go through with this and follow through with everything and not quit on you.
No, absolutely. I won't quit. I ain't give up yet. I ran like I said, I ran as a write-in, and I got trounced. There's no other way to put it. I mean, we wound up with 384 votes after the final tally. And, hey, as a write-in, that's not too awfully bad, especially when your name is not on the ballot at all.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That really did well. Yeah.
A lot of times with write-in candidates, and I feel sorry for anybody that is a write-in, because I learned a lesson from it, is that if people don't put it exactly how it is, when it's posted on that voting booth, that vote will never count. It's just like not having anybody vote. And
Right.
talking about, mail-in ballots, like Dale was talking about, they're doing everything they got to do right with the social distancing, everything, have everybody vote. But I pulled my Florida voting record, right? And I mailed in, I voted absentee for years in Florida, and it was about a 50% hit rate on an election, whether my vote got counted or not. So I'm
Same here.
definitely afraid of mail-in ballots for that reason.
Mhm.
And now they're talking about trying to pass a law or some type of statute saying they can start counting the absentee ballots early because so many of them's going to get mailed in. So you got people going to know who voted for who before the voting's even over with.
Right.
So,
And in that situation, they would know who won the election
right,
before it was even finished.
right. That shouldn't happen either.
No, because the leaks are going to happen. Somebody's going to talk. It's just the way.
Purposely.
Yeah. Like, I just can't see these mail-in ballots happening. And I think like I said, today being Memorial Day, I think that those guys that fell on the battlefield will be turning over in their graves if they knew what was going on right now.
Right.
And we need to respect what they defended.
Right. 100%. We're doing all we can do getting it out there.
Oh, I know. I appreciate all the help I get. People think, you can't recognize everybody, but you try,
Right.
and I want everybody to know that's helped me out, that is helping me. I really appreciate it because we don't have those big campaign dollars to pay this big giant staff and everything else. Because I don't think that that's the way that it was intended to be in the first place.
And
And
it's
I
not just there's other candidates that are doing the same thing. Like we follow other people like
Alex?
Alex, yeah, you got Paloma and all these other people that are running for offices, other places, doing other things. Who's our friend from just next door to Dinah?
Oh, Dinah. Yeah,
There's
Dinah.
people out there, they're doing the best they can, but I mean, if you just don't have that kind of support, then you I think the most important thing is that you don't sell out your soul trying to do this, So I think that as long as you can look at yourself in the mirror every day, then that's still the most important part of this. Your integrity is still in check.
imagine
Right.
imagine what it'd be
very
like.
necessary.
Imagine what it'd be like right now if we didn't have social media with this virus and all that stuff out there, man.
Yeah.
People never know their names, to be honest with you.
That's true.
Well, I
But
believe
it's
this might be the last chance. I really do believe this might be the last chance that we could use social media and have a grassroots movement. What happens in 2024 when big tech takes over and they censor everybody?
Yeah.
And all these platforms are liquidized into one. This is the last chance, folks. I really do believe it.
I do believe.
Yeah, we have Twitter that might be getting taken over by a more conservative ownership, but
Right.
that's not for sure thing at this point. So
Exactly.
What did they report today? Soros just bought the New York Times.
Oh,
great.
It's already bad. How much bad is it going to get now?
well, and that's the thing, if we keep allowing foreign entities to infiltrate our country and into the businesses like that, big businesses that control media, we're going to have more issues than we have right now.
Yeah, but he probably bought it for a bag of chips or something, though. It's not.
Yeah.
Yeah, he probably didn't pay much for it, but
Mm-mm.
gave him $100,
Yeah.
free vacation to Cancun or something, and that's it,
Yeah.
Sam, when you get elected up there in Congress, you'll have I plan on running myself in a year or two. Probably.
Right.
And
Yeah,
I-
we talked about
it would
that.
be awesome if Dale did too, and then Chris Cox in South Carolina wins. Man, we're gonna be able to get some things really changed in them, aren't we?
I think
But-
if you get people that think first, and I hate to say that line, but actually think about what they're
Use the
doing,
brain. Yeah.
and what the second and third order effects are to that decision. Because that's part of the problem right now is they're all shooting from the hip, and they never look past that first shot. You've got to think about what's going to happen down the road, 2 or 3 times down,
Mm-hmm.
to understand what the ramifications are of that piece of legislation. because I don't think that happens. It's just like, how do we have 6,800 bills already, or plus, already submitted to Congress? And we know that 90% of them will never be seen. They won't make it out of committee. They won't make it anywhere.
Right.
And then as soon as we see a bill that doesn't stand on its own, the first thing they do is they start whipping people up to try to add their bill to the bottom of it. By the time they get done, the original intent of the bill is gone. You know, because that's what they did with the first stimulus bill, House Bill, I think it was 748 is the one they used, but it was a different bill, and they just changed the name on it and added all this other garbage into it to pass it.
Yeah, we need a real Congress that works for the real people, not for this stuff.
You know, it's like I said, I don't need another career, right? I mean, I had my career. It was 29 years in the Army. And I'm doing this for America, not because I want, you know, because I did serve this country and I saw what we had to do in other countries to protect America. And we aren't getting that kind of support out of our representation right now. And people forget that the people of the United States have forgotten that these people work, if they're in government, they work for us. We don't work. It's not the other way around. You don't work for those people. You know, and you need to listen to what your constituency's telling you they need and what they want, instead of telling them what they need or what they want.
That's because they're not working for the people. They're working for their donors. That's what it's really at.
Special interest, man.
Special interest is done it. I mean, I could see us, you know, doing legislation, kick all the lobbyists out of Congress, because I really don't think, I think that's our problem, right? One of the biggest issues we have right now. You know, how do you go to Congress, spend 2 years there, be worth, you know, a couple $100,000 in net assets, and come out of there in 2 years worth a couple of $1 million? Doesn't make sense.
Some may right.
Salary won't put you there. You know?
But they want to see Donald Trump's taxes. I want to see all of Congress's taxes.
Yeah.
Well, you know, that's another thing that has to be done. A lot of people don't realize that. We have to file every year. It was due on the 15th of May. We have to file financial disclosures. Even as a candidate, you have to file these things. You know, there's a lot of stuff out there, but a lot of people don't know that they exist or how to look them up either, unfortunately. But you got to go to the clerk for Congress to look those up in particular. They're not listed on the Federal Elections Commission site. It's part of the Health Ethics Committee.
I'll be right back, guys. Oh, shoot. Trying to pause my picture. All right, there we go.
He's killing it in there, breaking stuff, I guess.
Well, maybe we should have something like that, just like judicial report, where they go out there and they go track down all this information. If it's public record, all we need is somebody with boots on the ground,
Yeah,
and a little bit of money to file for the paperwork, and we could get that.
You don't even have to pay for it. It's free to look it up. Anything that happens in with the congressional candidates and the members of Congress financially, has to be, when they do that financial disclosure every year, you have to have all that stuff listed. And it's easy to pull up. All you do is, I'll have to get the link and I'll post it for everybody so they can go look, because I think it's well worth it. Because you'll see that these people are taking money from all kinds of places. And I believe that the lobbyists, somebody brought this up to me here locally and said, well, if they're going to take money from lobbyists, why don't they get a 1099 and have to pay tax on it? You know, because I guarantee if you started taxing that lobby money that was going into people's pockets, that you'd see a lot less lobbying.
That would have killed Sanders' career pretty early on too, with the his little wind turbines.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But they're green energy, remember?
Right, right.
Yet you can't throw the blades. The blades are, you know, they don't go away.
Yeah.
You know, it's just as much environmental damage from that as there is from pumping oil out of the ground, I think. you know.
Well, you know, also, it always also comes back around on all these aid packages we give out to these
Right.
different countries. You know, the ones that get it passed, you know, you might get $1 billion, for example. Okay, I'm gonna send you back 500,000 of it back,
Yeah,
and you disperse it the way you want to, you know. But
right.
I
And
think
that's,
Trump has uncovered that, you know, from the start. That's
oh,
why
yeah.
he's reluctant about giving that aid and stuff out.
Well, see, that's one of the things too. I think we need to cut a ton of that foreign aid off. There is going to be some necessary evils in foreign aid, I'm sure, but the bulk of it, when you start giving, you know, hundreds of millions of dollars to people that hate you, that just doesn't make any sense.
Right.
You know, what is it? Pakistan, you know, is one of, you know, they give them damn near $1 billion a year. Why?
Why?
You know, somebody answer me that question. Why?
Well, they can shoot at Israel, I guess. I don't know.
Well, so they can, you know, be a safe haven for the Taliban that we've been fighting for the last decade or 2 decades. You know,
Well, I think we're gonna have a good, as far as the everything I'm hearing from the Trump campaign and all that. We're gonna have
right.
a pretty good.
I think we're doing good. I mean, I know that
We got the money. I don't know about the y'all. And
now the down ballot is suffering. The president's doing great. I mean, they are. You know, they're able to get it. The RNC is raising a lot of money. The thing is, it never makes it down to the lower races. You know, even at the Senate race, a lot of times they don't see a lot from the RNC.
And it's us too. They want us to do a lot of stuff for them, but they won't give us any money to do it.
Yeah, and the thing is,
But they say if you promote it and do it, we'll tag along with you and help you out.
right,
You promote it and do it, and we'll tag along with you and give you credibility as far as being a magnet. And we got 120 something thousand members, 338,000 followers.
right,
And, you know, we'll come join your party and bring the party with us. You know,
right, and you're bringing the party. You know, you know, your organization brings a huge amount of people to the table.
That's true. Very true.
You know, across the country. I mean, you need help with something, Bikers for Trump will be there. You know, you pick the
Yeah, they
phone,
will.
and you don't have to call Dale directly. All you got to do is call the local chapter, and they're going to be there.
I like to know though.
Oh yeah, I'm sure you did. You
know.
You know what I'm getting at, Dale.
But we do good. We got good people all over. Like I said, and if you ever get on a page, the communication's strong. I mean, people are they know what's going on. They mad about this virus. They mad about staying at home. They know. I mean, it's just. I mean, hadn't seen my mom since March. She's in assisted living, and I understand that, but I'm just, my Lord, you know, people die of the flu. You know, it's just news media driven is what it is.
It is.
You're exactly right.
I think it's all propaganda driven right now. You know, we don't have state-run media here, but we have party-run media, and most of it's run by one party.
And just to throw something out there, since we're talking about bikers, I saw that Alan West had been in an accident
Yes.
just recently. I know maybe, you know, a Tea Party guy, maybe not straight up Republican, but just for those of you guys that are watching this video, just say something nice in your prayers for Alan West and the other rider that was involved with that incident.
Yeah.
He got released.
He's back at home now.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. Alan West is out of the hospital. It looks like he's got a broke arm and he's got his hands bandaged up. So he probably got some road rash on his hands and whatever. But he looked like he's in good spirits. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
That's good.
You don't have much protection when you go down on one of them, man.
No, you don't.
I can attest to that.
I was on the road a long time ago. Well, I say a long time. Oh, it seemed like a long time. Well, I guess it was over 20-something years ago. In Florida, coming up, I think it was Jacksonville area, and I had a big, long ramp up there to get on the other interstate to go down south. And this motorcycle wiped out right in front of me. And he tumbled. I bet he rode in that bike, I dare say 300 or 400 foot. And they were just tumbling all in the air back and forth and everything else. I pulled up beside him, going to help him. By the time I got there, he got up, cranked his bike up, and drove off. I said, unbelievable. I've never seen nothing like it.
That's called adrenaline.
Yeah.
He probably was a biker for Trump. I'd
going
say.
10 miles an hour trying to get into the turn lane, hit some brake fluid or oil or something.
Oh,
This
yeah.
thing weighs 750, 800 pounds. The
Right.
thrusters. And next thing I knew, I done let it drop and done got it picked up and sitting back on it before my wife even could stop behind me.
Wow.
It's just, that's called adrenaline. That's what that's.
Yeah, but hey, and that bike of yours has got to weigh more than 700-800 pounds.
Well, I was just trying to be nice. It's got a lot of, it's got a lot of extras on it.
Right? Yeah.
Dale, you're a good man. Dale's one of my best friends, and I'm going to say that. So is Sam and Johnny. I know Johnny pretty well too. We're buddies also, and I'm getting to know everybody else. There's a few other ones there. I'm sure I'll get to know better.
Yeah.
And these guys you can always count on for anything. I mean, anything and everything. Sam's been there when I asked him to help me through certain things in that area. We would have never got as far we're all trumped up if it hadn't been for Sam helping. He just did an amazing thing, and I know some of you may not like Adolfo, but I thought Adolfo was great. He jumped to the bat too to help.
Hey,
And,
sure, he did. You know, and like I told you before, Adolfo and I had butted heads pretty hard.
Right, you
The
did.
thing was, you know, we're trying to do something for America, you know, and
As a team.
everybody understood that. And I
Right.
think that's what helped us get, you know, be able to at least get the stuff we needed. And then, of course, we hit our brick wall that we're in right now.
Yeah, we were ready to go. We were looking forward to it. That was a call I hated to make, and I mean, it
Oh, I
just
know.
broke my heart to make.
Hey,
You
you
know?
definitely waited till the last minute to make it, which was good. You know, hey,
That's
Yeah, I
right.
was very disappointed. Unfortunately, that coronavirus.
yeah, Kenny didn't want to make that decision because I talked to him late at night on it. And, you know, and he kept asking me what I think, and he's, you know, it's still we pushed it out as long as we could till they said, no, you're not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah.
You know, because initially they told us it'd be, you know, 15 days. So we weren't thinking too bad. We were going to back it up 15 days and be done with it. But that definitely didn't pan out.
No, it didn't. But it's not done yet. We're
No.
still planning on the We're All Trumped Up tour. As soon as everything opens back up and we can, the 6-foot thing goes away and all that. Hopefully all that'll go away for long, because we'd have a hard time putting enough crowd in there to do any good for anybody, you know, the way things are. And plus, we'd probably, a lot of the left would be trying to shut us down right and left. So we'd have more problems than we would solve problems, you know?
Yeah.
You know who's going to lead the way, right? Mega rally.
Yeah.
There
As
you
soon
go.
as that first mega rally starts, everybody's going to do what the hell they want to do.
Yep.
And I agree. And I think we need a Trump rally anyway, man. I've been to a couple of them and they're just unreal.
Right.
You know, the energy that's in the air when you get into one of those is just phenomenal. It really is.
Well, you know what I'm waiting on for the We're All Trump, that thing to start back up? I'm waiting on Trump to do a rally. When he does a rally, we're going to start.
Well, that'd be the time, you know, and
be the
think
time.
about the places, all the people we've talked to all over the country that want that rally.
Mhm.
You know,
I know. Yeah.
you know, as far away as Alaska and Hawaii, you know, and they're all in too, you know,
Yeah, they are in.
they're in the same boat.
Yeah.
Maybe the best way we do some of this is having an after gathering after these Trump tours, you know, kind of find a venue or somewhere, get all of our people and parties together. I think that'd be great. It's efficient.
I agree.
That
I
could
agree
well.
with that.
That's kind of the way the campaign uses us. We usually go to the city before he comes, or we go to the city after he leaves.
Right.
Mhm.
Keep it going, keep the voter registration going, and
Mhm.
all that kind of stuff. Then we just move on to kind of like what Kenny was talking about with the All Trump Up tour. Either go before Trump goes or go after Trump goes.
Right.
So the interest will be already there.
Yeah, it keeps that momentum,
Right.
you know, and that's the thing. We have to keep this momentum up. And that's been the hardest thing to do with this shutdown is keep the momentum that you had, you know, because we've already had our primary. Now we've got a runoff that was already supposed to be happening that got pushed out to July. You know, and in between that, we've got a county convention on the 13th of June And then whenever the state convention is, I believe it's right after this. It's a matter of fact, it's 2 days after Election Day in Houston right now. So it's, there's a lot of stuff coming, and we're running on a shorter leash than we would be in a normal election cycle.
Yeah, November be here before you know it.
Yeah, I mean, it's moving fast. I mean, face it, it's already the end of May.
Well, I feel like the Democrats, and I hate to keep saying Democrats, but it's true. I feel like they're going to stretch this virus out as long as they can through the election. When the election's over, you watch it just all go away.
Well, I see that happening because they're going to want to get back. They're even going to want to get people back on, back to work, because you don't get any tax money unless people are working.
Exactly. Well, they want to. I think they want to, and I'm not naming any one of them specifically because I don't want them coming after me, and I don't care. Let them come.
Yeah.
But yes, fine. But
that hammer on the wall.
yeah. But they ought to be ashamed of themselves. They ought to be ashamed of themselves. They're being non-American the way they're acting right now. They're trying to take all their rights away in all these different states. They're showing how much they do not believe in God when they're not letting these church services take place. Yeah. Well, if you're in your cars and you're outside the church, what are you hurting? You're in your own property, right? You're not out there exposing germs or getting germs. You're in your car.
You're in your car, it's fine. Hey, see, drive-in movie theaters should have stuck around because now is the perfect time.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Think
true.
about it,
Yeah.
Well, I know
I thought about that too, Sam. I said, man, it'd be a good time to open one of them up right now.
Yeah, you think about it. When you, me, and Dale were kids, drive-in movie theaters were a pretty big deal.
Oh, I
Mom and
remember
Daddy
well.
throw you in the car and take you to the movies. That way they didn't have to chase you around the movie theater.
You remember putting them cans of speaker and hanging on your window there and said,
Big giant.
I'm like crap.
But a lot of things have gone, that kind of stuff has gone away. But I think maybe this will bring some of that stuff back, some of that nostalgia back,
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to doing this movie and stuff to coming up. And Sam, I guess you'll come out and hang out with us.
Yeah, we're going to come up there and hang out. We're gonna bring
Johnny, I might be coming too.
Yeah, we're going to bring.
I'll probably be out there.
Yeah, Rich wants to, Rich, man, we did that little reel for him, and that was pretty fun.
He did pretty good on that, actually. It's pretty natural. Yeah. It's going to be a lot of fun, but it's also going to be a whole lot of work.
Yeah, I tried to get him to come on tonight just because I wanted to hear what he had to say about Biden. But again, maybe it isn't the place for Rich to talk live about that because he might just say exactly what's on his mind.
Yeah, he probably would. Hey, Dale, you got something coming up there for the bikers, don't you?
Yeah, we got
You posted.
Huh?
I think I seen you post something.
Yeah, June. Our next big event is going to be June 27th in Blairsville, Georgia. It's going to be a thank you President Trump Day.
Okay.
We're going to have the Trump bus there. We're going to have the local candidates talking, but it's going to be Georgia, North Carolina, and South Carolina, and some Tennessee folks that's going to be there.
Okay.
So we got over 695 people saying they're going to be there.
Well, if you want me there, I'm there.
Yeah, we'll have to look at it and see. It's up to the lady who runs the motorcycle resort is putting it on. So I had to bring it to her attention and see what she's got lined up as far as entertainment. But
right.
I'm just pretty well, promoting it on the pages, getting people there.
Right.
We're going to do a patriotic theme, and we'll have maybe have a little flyover for the local area up there. They got some acrobatic team up there.
Oh, that'd be cool.
I don't know, but it's just a small town, mountain town in North Carolina. But they wanted to do something for the president because they don't really get into the big time politics and stuff.
Right.
And so she approached me. I said, heck yeah, we'll do it. So it turned out pretty.
Yeah, we'll put it up too, just so people know that it's in Blairsville. It started getting out because the more people that know about it, the more people will come.
Well, if you ever come over this way, it's called Copperhead Lodge, and it's a strictly
Okay.
a store, but it's 5-star. It's a 5-star restaurant, 5-star bar and grill. They got cabins with individual motorcycle garages.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and they got 3 or 4-star 11 motel rooms up under the bottom.
Okay.
But it's got a big old theater, swimming pool, all kind of stuff.
That sounds like it's fun.
Back off in the mountains on the street. It's pretty awesome.
Sounds like a pretty nice place.
It is. It's pretty cool. I mean, we go up there all the time. We go up there at least 5 or 6 times a year.
Oh, wow.
Stay, but it's pretty cool. But that's the only thing we got going. We had something going on in June in Ohio, but as everybody knows, when you got a big operation like this, everybody don't get along.
Right.
So the guy that was running it, he kind of went too far. He had to pull the plug on that one. So he didn't necessarily agree with what the governor was doing, which was fine. I mean, I don't agree with everything my governor did, but he opened up at least. But
Yeah, that was the one I think I was supposed to come perform at, I think, too.
Yeah, he started protesting and all that kind of stuff, and it put a bad light on the
Right.
biker club. So for the sake of the campaign, we had to pull off that one. So
Yeah, that's one of those things. I think protests, they have a point, but for the most part, if it's going to make your organization look bad or whatever, I don't particularly like protests, because I know that a lot of people come from outside to protest, and then we're
Right.
the whole town stuck there cleaning the mess up after the fact.
and it's just, if they done their social distancing, done what they supposed to, or stayed in the cars like they're supposed to, it probably would have been the same. But once the news gets a hold of it, and then they call the Trump campaign, and they call us,
Right.
Got to redirect, and that's what we did.
Yeah, you do. Well, you can't have that. You're doing the right thing. You try to do the right thing all the time, and then somebody's going to, there's always somebody out there that wants to take something just a little bit too far.
Well, you've got a team together, and you got one person that thinks he's bigger than the team, and
That don't work.
you should let that person go.
Yeah, I mean,
that's basically what we do.
think about it. You got 128,000 people in your organization. That's not a small organization. It's a lot to manage too.
Yeah, and Ohio has 14,000 members in Ohio, and
Wow.
one guy that wants to run the whole show instead of being team, bikers for Trump.
Right. It's all supposed to be about the main cause, not individual causes.
That's what I try to keep it at. And a lot of people don't like that. I get all kind of mail.
All right. Yeah, I know. I think we all get that kind of mail right now.
Yeah.
It ain't not always the mail you want to open.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, guys, I need to get off here. I've got a lot of, if you've seen all the junk in the background, I'm putting all my camera gear and everything together. I got a lot to get done before I take off this coming weekend.
Yeah, well, we punched it for an hour and a half. I blocked it for 2 hours, but an hour and a half is an awful long time to be online anyway.
Yeah, I'm gonna get out of here too.
Yeah, I think we'll cue up the flag and call it a day, and everybody have a great day. Have a good tomorrow too.
Yeah, finish out this Memorial Day. Just keep remembering why we're here and what it stands for. And
Yeah,
my dad retired Army, and I appreciate everything he done for me and in the world. He was in Korea and Vietnam, so
yeah. Kenny's dad.
Mine too.
Same thing. They were all military. Y'all guys are tied to the military too, just like I am, like Rob is, like Johnny is. We're all tied together and part of that brotherhood. If you really get down to it, I honestly believe that.
And you are brothers,
yes,
bound together by the flag and the United States of America.
Yep.
And God.
Military justice.
Right.
Yeah, and military justice is another one you got to watch out for.
Hey,
Because it can be painful.
And I want to say that also today was a special day for all military personnel and all. And I want to spread my love and respect for each and every one of you. And, my father also was Vietnam and Korea vet, just like Dale's dad. And, I had utmost respect for my dad. My dad was something else. He was a man's man. Anyway, I'm going to get off here.
All right, guys.
Vote for Trump. November, everybody must vote for Trump. If you don't vote for Trump, you ain't white.
Oh, my Lord.
I haven't put that out, but this is live, so it ain't going nowhere, man. We don't
Thought
edit.
I'd throw a little Biden moment in there.
There's a Trump bear.
Yeah, if you can't vote for Biden or Trump, vote for Trumpy Bear.
Yeah. All right,
God
guys.
bless, gentlemen.
God
God bless.
you.
Guys, thanks for
Thank you,
coming
fellas.
on, Dale, Kenny. I know
Yeah,
Kenny's busy and getting him on. He's been wanting to get on, but he hadn't been able to. So
All right.
good having him on a special day like today. Same thing with Dale and getting their message out to people as well.
Good luck to you, Stan.
All right, brothers. Have a good one. And here we're going to play the flag.
All right, God bless you, fellas.
Thank you.
No. Well, I never can turn this thing off. It's always a problem.
One stepped up, burned it. Some even spit into my face. They take a knee, and our country is disgraced. Blood's been shed on me like rain. I felt their tears in every stain. No matter what you put me through, you can believe I'll always stand for you. Raise me up over the battle. Wave me from sea to shining sea. I'm the red, white, and blue. I'm here for you. Stop the hate and let's join hands and try and come together and make America great again. Monuments are coming down. They're pulling statues to the ground. History can't be replaced. Where men have died, time can't be erased. I've covered coffins coming home. I'm folded in a widow's hand. Many a wounded, dying man have held me ragged in their hand and raised me up over the battle. Wave me from sea to shining sea. I'm the red, white, and blue. I'm here for you. Stop the hate and let's join hands and try to come together and make America great again. Raise me up over the battle. Wave me from sea to shining sea.
a problem.